SAB page 14. It's kind of a review of our fraction stuff. You're supposed to explain how you determine your answers too. Rachel, Olivia, and Dion make their own pizzas. All 3 pizzas are the same size. Rachel cut her pizza into 4 equal pieces and ate 3. I've got fraction bars over here that I made on my own for each of the 3 pizzas. So for Rachel's, she cut it into 4 equal slices, like that, and she ate 3. She ate in 3 to show what she did. What fraction of the pizza did she eat? 3/4. I'm going to write it over here instead where I have a little bit more room. Rachel had 3/4. Olivia cut hers into 8 equal pieces and ate 5. Well, let's... Okay, now 4 on each side there. Now these cut in 2. Okay, this is the half line. I'm going to darken it. Cut it in half. Cut it in half again. These are 8. She ate 5 of them. There's 4, and one more is 5. And that's 5 out of 8. You can see, looking at this, it looks like Rachel ate more than Olivia. And really, if you extended this down, if I drew it well, you kind of see that it lines up with where 6/8 would be, because an equivalent fraction for 3/4, if you multiply top and bottom by 2, you get 6/8. It equals that. It equals 6/8.
That's right.
Okay, now Dion cut his pizza into 6 equal pieces and ate 5 of them. Well, if I cut this in half, I have 3 on each side. That'll make 6s. I gotta kind of estimate. I think of things like the Italian flag or Irish flag that are cut into 3. There are lots of flags that are. Okay, and he ate 5 of those 6.
No, sir.
Now if, and that's the halfway line, I'll darken it more. 3, 4, 5. Now if you drew it correctly, and by the way, that's 5/6 right there. And it kind of looks like Dion ate the most if they end up asking that. Or that Olivia ate the least if they end up asking that. And actually it says, who ate the most pizza?
If you give me the chance,
And I kind of answered above, that's Dion. 8, 5, 6. Who ate the least? They did ask that too. It's Olivia. How do you know? Well, for this one, my explanation is see picture. If you line them up like this, you can clearly see that this one fills up more space than that one. This one fills up more space than that one. And this one fills up the least space in the shading. Another way to look at it, if you're looking at the numbers, 5/8 compared to 5/6. And because you know 6/8 and 5/8. Obviously 5/8 is less than 6/8. So I can explain it by saying 5/8 is less than 6/8. I can also say that, looking at this, 6/8 is less than 5/6. Now the only other comparison I have to make is 5/8 and 5/6. So if I have 5/8 to 5/6, that also goes like this, because I have 5 pieces when the whole thing's cut into 6, or 5 pieces when the whole thing's cut into 8. This will be bigger. That's what this shows. So I can use these to explain as well, without having to use words. That's how you do these. Number 2, Nora and Zachary made 2 smoothies, poured them equally in 2 glasses that are the same size. So I'm going to put one glass over here, another one over here. Those are 2 glasses about the same size. Nora drank 2/3 of her smoothie. I cut it in thirds. She drank 2/3 of them. Zachary drank 75% of his. If you remember, you can cut it in half and do quarters. And 75% is 3/4. Z for Zachary, N for Nora. Now, who drank more of their smoothie? Well, here's what I think. 2/3, I remember that one. Or you can look at your percent. 66 2/3%. And then I also know that that's 3/4 was 75%. Oops. 75%. So that was Z. That was N. So who drank more of their smoothie? 75% is more than 66 2/3, so Zachary did. How do you know? Because I used math. I did math. Okay, for number 3, Lourdes ate 25% of a sandwich. Mitch ate 50% of a different sandwich. Mitch claims that he ate the same amount as Lourdes. Explain how this is possible. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways on this one. If I have a sandwich that's this size, and if I have a sandwich that's this size here, Lourdes ate 25% of a sandwich. Well, I'll cut this up like this. 25% I know is 1/4. And Mitch ate 50% of this. I cut this up in half and put that. You can clearly see that this is bigger than that shaded portion. So if this is Lourdes' sandwich and that's Mitch's, Mitch claims he ate the same amount as Lourdes. Explain how that's possible. Oh, well, this didn't quite do it. But if I get one, for Mitch that's about half the size, if I try to measure this area, it'll be about the same. But another way to look at it is if I kind of did this, cut it in 8 parts, I'd have 2 of those 8ths, right? If I cut it in 4ths, I have 2 of those 4ths. But if this piece is the same size as that, and this piece is the same size as that, it's conceivable that Mitch ate the same amount as Lourdes. This is kind of one of those, how is it possible? We had a question like that in the last unit where someone ate 1/4 of something, someone ate half of something. How is it possible that the person who ate 1/4 ate more? And this is how you show that. That's not what this is. So you've got Lourdes and Mitch right here. Mitch is, if his was smaller and he ate half of it compared to Lourdes' quarter, 1/4 to get to half would be 2/4. If this thing was half the size of Lourdes's, they could eat the same exact amount of sandwich. And that's how you do it. On to the homework if you're done.